you so much for being here. Nice to meet you. How are you feeling? Perfect. Well, thank you so much for agreeing to be a part of this sleep experiment. Yes, I really do appreciate it. So before we do in fact put you to sleep, I'm going to be going over some questions with you, and we are basically going to be performing a little experiment on you, if you could so say. Yes, so first things first, before we begin, may I please get your name? Last name? Okay. Age? Okay. And what is your background? Okay. How tall are you? Okay. Yes, feet is great. And now we are going to be getting it down to the more nitty-gritty. So, you're obviously here with us for a reason, and I assume it's because you are having trouble sleeping. Perfect. Trouble sleeping, okay. So, how would you describe what is going on with your sleep? Yeah, the patterns. Okay, yeah. Yes, and what time do you usually find that you go to bed? Okay, and that is every weekday or... Okay. And on the weekends, is that different? Okay, perfect. Okay, so how long would you say you've had trouble sleeping? Okay. Yes. On a scale of 1 to 10, how big would you say this problem is? The problem you have with sleeping? Okay. Perfect. And how many times a week does this usually occur? Do you find yourself having problems every night, or is it sort of like every other night? Okay. So would you say that you are typically a good sleeper except for those days, or would you describe yourself as an average sleeper? Okay. Okay. Are there any nights that you do find that you are getting a good night's sleep, or have you been having a lot of trouble lately? Okay, perfect. So, when you do in fact go to bed, how long does it actually take you to fall asleep? Okay. And how restful is the sleep that you're getting? Would you say that you toss and turn during your sleep, or if you wake up in the middle of the night, can you easily go back to sleep? Okay. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how difficult is it for you to get back to sleep if you do wake up? Okay. Do you ever find yourself waking up earlier than expected or later than expected? And when you are waking up early, for example, do you feel well rested or very tired? Okay, perfect. And do you wake up too early in the morning and find that you can't go back to sleep as well? Okay. For example, if you were to wake up at, say, 6 a.m. and your alarm is for 7 a.m., would you find that you have difficulty falling asleep, or do you enjoy the extra hour? Okay. Would you say that you need your room to be pitch black to fall asleep? Do you enjoy soft light and night light? What is that like? Okay. And now, do you sleep over or under covers? Okay. Now, do you have a thick comforter, or do you sleep in more of a sheet? And how big is your bed, roughly? Okay. Do you sleep with a lot of pillows, or one? Do you sleep with a pillow anywhere other than in your head? For example, do you use one on your back, between your legs, and so on? Got it. Okay, perfect. So, how do you feel during the day as we described on a normal day? So forget about sleep or not sleep. Average. Are you usually tired? Okay. Perfect. So, do you feel that your sleep problem is affecting your ability to function on a day-to-day basis? For example, at work with tasks like that? Okay, so you do have a problem there. And do you have any mental or physical conditions you would like to let me know of beforehand? Okay, wonderful. Are you on any medications? Okay. And do you take any vitamin supplements or herbs to aid in sleep? Yes. Okay. Sure. Perfect. Okay. And have you tried any over-the-counter sleep medication? So not the herbal route, but the more... Yes. Okay. Okay. And do you drink any alcohol? And if so, how much do you drink? Okay, perfect. And how much caffeine would you say you consume daily, if at all? In the form of coffee, tea, so on? Yes. Herbal tea is fine. Okay, yeah, just caffeinated beverages. Yep, that counts for sure. And if you have coffee, how many times a day would you say? Okay. And do you have coffee when you first wake up in the morning, or? Okay. Yes, your caffeinated beverage of choice, I see. Okay. And do you feel anxious or worried? Yeah, just something very specific. Okay, yeah. Okay. And do you smoke? And if so, how much do you smoke? Okay, perfect. And do you say that you snore, or would someone have described you as a snorer? If you sleep alone, it would be hard to tell, but sometimes our snores can wake us up. Okay. Okay, and do you sleep in bed with a partner? And if so, does their bedtime behavior keep you awake or disturb your sleep? Okay, and would you say you're typically the last one to fall asleep in most situations? Okay. Do you have any leg cramps at night? Like a Charlie horse or something like that? Okay. It's best to stay hydrated, yes. Okay, perfect. Do you add shifts to your job at work, or is it a typical schedule? Sporadic or... Okay. So that concludes the essentially questionnaire portion. Next begins the sort of examination portion of our study. You might be wondering why I have this here with me. Part of me examining you for this sleep experiment is just testing all of your cognitive functions. Yeah, so I have here some essentially essential oils, is what they would be described as. And all of these are said to perform a certain ability, so some can boost your mood, some can help you calm down, and so on and so forth. So I'm just going to get some. Yes, perfect. Okay. I'm just going to get some here, and I'm going to have you smell this, and you're going to just describe to me the emotions that you feel when you smell this and any specific scents that you detect. Yep, just give this a smell. Yep. Breathe it in. Okay. And you're smelling. Yeah. Very interesting. Very interesting. Yes. Well, this one is called the better mood. Yeah. So this should have you smelling. Yes. Okay. Exactly. Perfect. Okay. So, yes. Wonderful. Okay. I'm just gonna close this up. And I'm going to get the next one. So, better mood is gone. Next. I'm not going to show you the name yet. I'm just going to simply open them up for you. And let's get a new Q-tip. Okay. So, this one has a pouring spout. Okay. Yes. Okay. Perfect. So, tell me what you smell and how you feel. Oh, interesting. Yep. Lavender for sure. And that makes you feel, oh, wonderful. Well, this is called calm down. Interesting that you detected that. Good for you. Okay, this next one is going to be a little bit different. Quite interesting. Yes, with a new Q-tip, we're just going to. Okay. Okay, what does this smell like? Oh, yes. More herbal and pine. Okay, interesting. How does it make you feel? Okay, very interesting. Well, this is actually called Breathe Easy, so it should calm down your senses a little bit. Yes, it would just essentially clear your palate. Maybe I should have started with that one. Okay, next here. Not showing you the name, just opening that up with a fresh Q-tip. Okay, what do you smell here? Ah, interesting. Yeah, just breathe. Okay. Yes. Okay, yeah. Yep, I'm getting that as well. Oh, and how do you feel? Great, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Well, this is definitely not something you want at nighttime. It's called refresh energy. So essentially this could be something that you would use in the morning if you're feeling quite groggy. Okay, next. Interesting, okay. What do you think of this one? Yeah, just breathe. Okay, interesting. And you smell? I smell that too, yeah. This is called Strong Guards. Yeah, so it's essentially supposed to strengthen the immunity. Okay, lastly, this could be the most important one. Okay, interesting. Okay, so with a fresh Q-tip, I'm just going to get some more of that in here. Perfect. Okay, smell. Okay, yes. Similarly. Perfect. Okay, yes. So that last one, yes, this was Sleep Easy. So it's funny that you did say you felt calm. Yeah. Quite interesting. Okay, so the scent portion is covered here for your exam. Scents are actually quite important for sleep. So if you do need, we can also prescribe you certain essential oils before we send you to bed, and when you wake up, you can just rub them on your pressure points. You can put them into a diffuser. Yes, okay. So I'm just going to write that down, how you did on this test over here. So this was the scent portion of the test. Okay, very interesting. Very interesting, yeah. You actually did fantastic on that, okay. So next I'm just going to be doing a little bit of an eye examination, if you will. So I'm just going to be looking into your eyes in order to show that I have some glasses here. Okay, and I do have a light with me. I'm essentially going to be asking you to follow my finger as I flash a light. Okay, it might be a little bit tricky, but let's see where your eye focuses on. Okay, follow my finger. Follow my finger. Follow my finger. Perfect. We'll do it with the other side. Yes, with both eyes. Just follow my finger. Okay. Okay. Now, if I can get you to cover one eye. Yes, perfect. Now, how many fingers? How many fingers? How many fingers? How many fingers? How many? Perfect. Next eye, if I could just get you to cover. Perfect. How many fingers? 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 Perfect. Okay. Now I will ask you to close your eyes for me. If you could just close your eyes. And now if you can tell me how many flashes of light are in each eye. Yes, you will be able to see this with your eyes closed. How many flashes? Okay. How many? Perfect. How many? Perfect. How many? Okay, great. How many? Perfect. Okay. I'm going to do this into your other eye. You can close your other eye for me. How many? Okay. How many? Okay. How many? Okay. How many? Okay. Okay, perfect. Yes. Yeah, so it just is to detect how sensitive your eyes are when they are in fact closed, which can often be a trigger when it comes to falling asleep. Okay, so I can just look into your eyes now. Okay. Interesting. Okay, very nice. Your eyes like that. Okay. I can just look into your other eye. Alright. Okay. Interesting. 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 Okay, so we can often, yes, exactly. Yeah, your eye clarity does look indeed pretty good. Of course, it is difficult to tell. So I'm just going to have to shine this light into your eyes for one moment, please. Keep your eyes open. Okay. And one more time. Okay. Yes, just checking your pupil responsiveness, other eye. Okay, and okay, one more time. Okay. Interesting. Gathering some information here. Yes, well, because this is the sleep experiment, your questions and the physical exam is actually quite important to us. Yeah, so thank you so much for participating in the physical portion of the sleep exam. That was wonderful. Okay, so I have indeed tested your vision, we've tested your sense, and what is left for me to gather is your hearing, because hearing is often very important. Don't mind the squeaky chair that we have going on here, but if that does bother you, it is an indication of something deeper like misophonia perhaps. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to whisper in each ear, and you're going to tell me what words I am saying when I'm done, okay? So just have a listen and try to remember. Perfect. Okay. Pizza, apples, bananas, bacon, cheese. What did I say? Perfect. Okay. Next side. Strawberries, apples, carrots, cheese, bacon, bananas. Okay, perfect. Forgive my chair, I'm so sorry. How was that? Okay, so you did understand. Perfect. Okay, so you're hearing. Interesting. Okay, and if I can, I'm just going to click this beside your ear and you'll just count the number of times that you hear a click, okay? Perfect. Okay, one more time. Okay, and one more time. Okay, perfect. Next ear. Okay. Okay. Perfect. Okay, so you do understand the number. Perfect. Okay. So the examination portion is finished. Yes. So we did test your hearing, we did test your scent and your sight, which is actually pretty crucial when it does come to sleep. So before we do send you off to bed, I'm just gonna make some final notes here and some recommendations for you. And this is all before we actually study you when you're asleep. Okay. So we will be helping you to do some things like, practice meditation before bed, use essential oils, a sleep mask perhaps. Okay, yes. And I can have some prescriptions, yes. And I can have also recommendations. Okay. So of course, after your sleep study, I'm going to be giving you the more in-depth recommendations, but what we often do recommend for our clients, and I can show you an example of this, is about 3 hours before bed, I'm probably going to be prescribing to you some blue light glasses, and these are essentially orange looking, so it really truly does block out the blue light. For example, right now the room almost looks entirely orange, which is quite interesting because since we tend to use phones and electronics and televisions and things before bed, often our mind is not quite adjusted to the fact that we are going to sleep. So, for example, before technology, I imagine sleep was easier as there was not so much harsh blue light emitted from things like our devices and so on and so forth. Ironically, things like watching ASMR videos or listening to nice meditative music can help. However, if that is the case, you can also be using these blue light glasses at the same time. Yes, because sometimes harsh blue lighting does affect sleep patterns. So this background will become orange for you during your sleep session. Yes, so I do recommend definitely a good pair of blue light glasses that will block the harmful blue light from your eyes about 3 hours before bed. But of course, we will see a little bit more in depth after we study your actual sleeping patterns. And one final thing, if you have a sensitivity to light, using something like an eye mask can be quite helpful. But often I use this as an example of maybe something that you don't want to use if you do have a more severe case of sensitivity to light. So your eyes do appear to be quite sensitive to me. So something like this, it's quite soft and it is also cushiony and padded. And this essentially, when you put this on, your eyes go in here and it has a thick padding over, so it essentially blocks out all the light, and the sides are quite thick, as you can see, blocking out further light. And this also has the option to play a certain song in your ear or hook it up to a certain video. Say you do enjoy ASMR, you could perhaps listen to this right before you fall asleep. So this is quite comfortable and soft and cushiony. And something like this with the thin strap is not so good because light will still come into your eyes. So something like this I definitely do recommend. Of course, we will be studying you further tonight, so I will have a better analysis as well. I did find your reactions to certain, yes, these were quite wonderful. So perhaps a more calming route for you would be better, as opposed to energy in the morning. Perhaps being a little bit more calm before bed would also be great. But again, we are going to be studying you further tonight as you fall asleep. Yes, so I did just want to say thank you so much for participating in this sleep examination. Yes, your support is quite meaningful to us and it helps keep our organization running, so that's fantastic. So if you would like to subscribe to our services, that would also be wonderful. Yes, well, I do really appreciate you answering the questions openly and honestly and being very engaging in the examination portion. Yes, so we will be conducting the sleep study where we actually monitor your sleeping, but before then we are going to ensure that we do make you very comfortable. We're going to give you pillows and keep you safe and of course warm in a cool environment. Yes, so I also do recommend sleeping in an area that is a little bit more fresh. Okay, so I'm going to also be prescribing certain things to you that you can follow through with. Well, thank you so much for participating in this sleep experiment, and I do look forward to seeing you in the morning when you wake up. But until then, have a lovely sleep.